Donald Trump has a problem. He cannot find enough applicants to double the amount of ICE agents in the organization. Under the Big Beautiful Bill that was passed earlier this year, Congress allocated hundreds of millions of dollars to ICE. And part of that was to recruit new ICE agents who are physically fit enough to become part of immigration enforcement activities in the United States. This effort has hit a major snag. Why? Because so-called, quote, athletically allergic individuals are applying to join ICE. Now, that may be funny, but it's serious. ICE has basic fitness tests that anyone who is applying must pass. These fitness tests are not super complex. They're also not that difficult for someone who is applying to be a law enforcement officer. You have to do 15 push-ups, 32 sit-ups, and run a mile and a half in under 14 minutes. If you can do that, you pass the basic fitness requirements to be an ICE agent. Well, more than a third of applicants can't pass that, and they're being called athletically allergic. And to take it even one step further, not only can't they pass that, but they are actively lying to the federal government on their applications, saying that they can pass these tests and then getting to the tests and not being successful. And so the Trump administration is now in a predicament. Do we reduce the requirements for individuals in terms of physicality when applying to join ICE? Or do we have to expand our ability to try to get and recruit more people? And that's why you're seeing recruitment videos and recruitment ads pop up everywhere. I mean, you have recruitment ads on Spotify even. As people are listening to music, a recruitment ad for ICE will pop up. It's because of the budget bill. The bill allocated hundreds of millions of dollars for this recruitment. And recruitment efforts right now simply haven't been doing so well. They cannot find physically fit individuals who are interested in applying to join ICE. And when you think about it, it's not necessarily a surprising thing because the people that would want to join ICE support this administration's immigration policy. And if you look at public polling, the majority of Americans don't support this policy. They don't support mass deportation efforts. They don't support separating children from their families. That's not what they support. And so you're not seeing your average applicant actually apply to join ICE. And the ones that are applying are athletically allergic candidates who misrepresented their condition, raising concerns about the agency's ability to meet its aggressive hiring goals without compromising standards. And it comes at a time where the Trump administration is actively trying to conceal what is happening in the White House in terms of the demolition of the White House. We got new images overnight of what the White House East Wing looks like. And well, folks, it looks really like a bomb went off. I mean, it is a complete demolition zone. This is not a small part of the East Wing now. This is a larger section. And if you ever enter the White House, whether for an event or on a tour, you walk through the doors of the East Wing. Those doors are completely gone. Now, the Trump administration justifies this as there have been multiple renovations in the past. 6 presidents in the past have renovated the White House and have done their own thing. Sure, that may be true. But Donald Trump earlier this year in July specifically said that these renovations would not impact the existing structure of the White House. And when you look at these images, that's clearly not true. They are impacting the existing structure of the White House, and it's pretty big. And these are the images that the White House does not want you to see. Overnight, Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays and Adelita Grijalva, the congresswoman-elect from Arizona's 7th Congressional District, sued the House of Representatives and Speaker Mike Johnson for failing to swear her in. I'm going to be speaking with Grijalva later this week, so let me know if you have any questions for her in the comments below. But ultimately, they want a determination from the court that says if Mike Johnson won't swear her in, then anyone who is able to administer an oath of office can administer that oath of office to Grijalva. For example, a sitting judge in Arizona could theoretically administer that oath, assuming the court allows it. They asked for expedited review. We'll see if and when that happens. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to support my work, liking, commenting, and sharing to spread the word. Now, I do have some exclusive reporting today. Senator Elizabeth Warren is now demanding that the United States Treasury disclose whether taxpayer funds were used to buy Argentine pesos as part of a $20 billion bailout for Argentina, criticizing the Trump administration for a lack of transparency and questioning the bailout's timing, scope, and potential political motivations amid the ongoing government shutdown. We will see whether the United States Treasury responds to Senator Warren's request. Trump's nominee for the federal whistleblower Office of Special Counsel, Paul Ingracia, withdrew overnight after reports of racist text messages in which he called himself a Nazi, marking rare Republican pushback. He simply didn't have the votes. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a new Pentagon memo requiring all staff to get approval before communicating with Congress, actively tightening control over information flow and prompting criticism from lawmakers who say that it reflects growing secrecy and paranoia within the Defense Department. And it comes at a time where there is now public reporting that Pete Hegseth, as Secretary of Defense, has actually lost the confidence of many senior military leaders within the Pentagon. So we'll see whether this translates to potentially Hegseth's ouster by the end of the year or early next year. Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon has now spoken for more than 13 hours on the Senate floor, beginning a marathon speech yesterday at about 6 p.m. Now, about 13 hours, 14 hours later, he is still standing, he is still speaking, and the goal of the speech is to draw attention to what is happening in the Trump administration. Do I think this will change anything? No. But is it riling up the troops in terms of like getting the senators kind of more energized? Sure. But it is the news, and so I figured I would let you know. Meanwhile, after lobbying from the gun industry and Republican lawmakers, the Trump administration deemed firearms examiners, quote, essential during this government shutdown, allowing sales of silencer, short-barreled rifles, and pre-1986 machine guns to resume, even though other federal services remain halted. And SNAP benefits specifically could soon be impacted in all states. A number of SNAP funding will run out by the end of this month if the government does not reopen. Donald Trump paused a plan to meet with Vladimir Putin after Russia launched deadly new attacks in Ukraine that have killed at least 13 people, including children at a kindergarten. Elon Musk escalated his public feud with acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy, marking him as, quote, Sean Dangerously Stupid Duffy on Twitter amid Duffy's controversial suggestion to eliminate NASA and fold it into the Department of Transportation. Fold in the cheese, if you know that reference. Schitt's Creek. Love it. That's all the news right now. As always, if you want to support my work, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. There will be a lot more news throughout the day. This morning's news update, admittedly, is a little slower. And that's okay. Sometimes a little slower mornings are okay. And so, I will see you this evening with another update. So stay tuned for more. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.